Hello y'all, and welcome to YoungFolk Knits. Today is all about knitting, spinning, and sewing. So stick around and we'll get some crafting done. Hello y'all, and welcome back to YoungFolk Knits. If you're new here, my name is Casey, and on this channel I share all about my love of fiber arts. So there's knitting, sewing, spinning, crochet, and whatever else we might be up to at the moment. I also occasionally share about living on a small farm here in Arkansas. So if any of that sounds like it might be your cup of tea, then make sure and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any future video content. Today I've got quite a few different projects that I really need to make some progress on. It is mid-June, and while normally it's already extremely hot, the rain, the cloud cover, the slightly different weather this year has kept it from getting super hot yet, which I am so happy about. I'm curious to see what this summer is going to hold, but I'm glad to put it off as long as possible. I'm not someone that absolutely loves the heat, and I definitely hate the humidity. I'm not sure if it's this time of year or just stress of life, but I have felt a little bit of a waning for my knitting. Not that I don't love it, I always love it, but it's been a little bit difficult for me to get motivated to spend as much time knitting as I normally do. And I've got a secret test knit that I'm working on that it's actually very close to being finished. The time is almost up for it, so before too long I will be able to share that with y'all, but it's taking up basically all of my knitting time at the moment. I am still working on another project with it though. If you're not new here, you may remember that I recently finished this top, the Darjeeling blouse, which is a pattern by Trust the Mojo. And I used a linen cotton blend. It's a cone yarn from Woolyknit, which I held double for this project. I personally recommend holding triple if you're going to use the same yarn. It would be easier to meet gauge for this pattern if you hold it triple. But the knitting is done, and I've been trying to find buttons to use for this. It's got a little bit of a V-neck and a slim I-cord edging that goes all around. It has this really lovely lace hem, and at the bottom of the lace there's a nice little picot edging. The same is true for the sleeves. It has matching lace and picot edges, which I think is just beautiful, and then a raglan shaping for the yoke of the top. And then it has, I guess you would call them saddle shoulders for the top of the sleeves at the shoulders. And it's just a really lovely pattern. I love everything about it except for it didn't turn out as long as I wanted it to. And being bottom up, it's a little bit harder for me to gauge because of my bust. It takes some of the length out, and it's just so much easier to knit top down. I still like it though, and I think it's going to be great to wear over dresses. I got some buttons in, which I ordered from You Fibers, a store in the Carolinas. They are 15mm buttons, and they have a very antique look to them. I think they're gonna work really nicely with the fabric and help give the look that I was going for. I did kind of want something a little bit darker, and these came a little bit more distressed than I was hoping for, but I still think that they're gonna work fine. I need to get these buttons sewn on now that I've finally picked some out and they have arrived. And I loved the top so much that I actually dug out of my knitting cabinet some yarn I had been hoarding for a couple years now, and it is from Craft Me Not Yarn Co. It's a silky sport base, which is, I believe, I don't have ball bands for them. They didn't come with ball bands because she actually dyed them for me and just sent me the skeins. But I believe that they're 50% merino, like a 50% superwash merino, and then a 50% silk base. I love this base. I used it in my party line scarf design, and I had 3 black skeins of it. And so I went ahead and immediately cast on the pattern again, and I am knitting this one longer. As I'm doing the same size, the only thing I did not like about the one I just finished was that it wasn't as long as I had hoped it would be, which is obviously my fault. But I am very excited to get this one finished. Let me just put all the stitches that I just pulled off my needle back on. So I've already knit the body. This is how long the body was for the first one. And I've started this second repeat of just the stockinette stitches to make it a little bit longer. The medium size is what I'm going for. So there's a cropped version, a medium version, and a long version. And I'm going for the medium version. And I am just knitting away on it. I'm in the stockinette flat, just back and forth, and doing buttonholes at the correct spots. And then I will knit the sleeves, attach them, and do the raglan decreases. That seems to go fairly quickly, so I'm excited to almost be at that point. And I actually found some cute buttons that I think are gonna work really well to go with this. There's some 15mm shank buttons that I actually found online, and they kind of have, I don't know, they've got a gold rim and a bit of a pearlized black center. So I think they're going to be really cute with this. We'll see if I for sure want to use them whenever I get done. Let's chat a little bit about sewing. I really wanted to make an outfit to go along with my rust-colored Darjeeling blouse that I just finished, and I actually think that a faded blue color goes really nicely with it. So I had this fabric, this linen fabric from Merchant & Mills, and I decided to cut out a Skyline dress, which is a pattern that came out last summer, I believe. And it's fairly simple, but it does have a lot of bias binding, and you use bias tape in it a lot. So if you're not comfortable with that, I would try to get comfortable with it before sewing this dress. But it doesn't have any zippers in it, so that makes it, you know, a little bit easier, a little bit more advanced beginner friendly. But I like the fact that it has tiers, so it's very flowy and very summery, and I think it will look really cute with this. So I've got that cut out, and I would like to sew that dress up this week. The other thing I'm working on is a pattern that I am test sewing. So I'm also doing this along with Mega from Skeins of Dreams. She is testing this pattern as well, but it's the Delft dress for Madswick sewing, and it's a really fun fitted dress at the top, very wide flowy skirt with lots of gathered panels and a sort of geometric shaping almost. And I think it's going to be really fun. It's one of those twirly dresses. I have decided to use this fabric, which is also a linen from Merchant and Mills. I think it's called Daffodilly, but I recently made a dress out of this, and I love it so much. It's mustardy yellow with a hint of citrusy lemon lime to the color. And the plaid in it is very gentle. It's very faint, so it from a distance could almost play like a solid. It's not overwhelming, but I love the interest that you have from the plaid, especially close up. It's definitely one of my favorite colors, and for the summertime it possibly is my favorite color. So I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I'm excited to use it in another pattern. I need to cut my pattern out, and then I need to cut the fabric out. I actually get a lot of questions about printing out digital patterns for sewing. So in the past, I've always used PDF plotting, which I still love. And there's a few different online stores that I have sent my patterns off to be printed, and they mail them to you. I will link those in the description, the ones that I have used. But recently, my UPS store now offers basically what they call blueprint printing. So this is A0 size at $4 a sheet. So this is two pages, I believe, of A0. So it was $8, and I can pick it up in town, which saves on shipping. And it used to be much more expensive, way more expensive, like $20 a page. So it was cheaper for me to order it and have it shipped to me. But now the pricing has gone down so much, it's so reasonable. So if you're looking for a place to have your patterns printed, definitely check out your UPS store or the equivalent if you have one in your area, because it just might have some really good pricing. The other exciting thing about it being mid-June means that it's almost time for Tour de Fleece. And this year, Anna from Brook Willow and I are hosting a team called Fleece Force. We have a group of super fun spinners that joined and spin along with us in Fleece Force, but we wanted to open it up to anyone who wants to spin along this year. So there's a forum that I'm going to link in my description, which you can post pictures, ask questions, share what you're working on. It is on the website YoungFolkKnits.com, but there's a special section which is for Team Fleece Force. So make sure and check that out. Post what you're working on Instagram and make sure and tag us so that we can see as well. We were so thrilled to be able to work with Trisha from Yarn Jam this year. She is an amazing dyer of both yarn and fiber, but we especially love her fiber, and she created a custom color for us, which is called Fleece Force, believe it or not. This is the beautiful color on the Shiniko silk base. So it is an 80% natural Shiniko and 20% mulberry silk. They're 4-ounce braids and they're absolutely stunning. So I wanted to chat a little bit about my plans for Tour de Fleece. And I wanted to show this because Trisha has opened up a pre-order, and if you order it by the 18th of June, then you will get it before the start of Fleece Force, but she has generously decided to leave it open until the 22nd, so that if you want to, after seeing this video, you can still order some of this beautiful fiber. It just will probably not reach you before the beginning of Tour de Fleece. It's just such a fun color, and we loved being able to give her some inspiration for what we were hoping, the colorway that we were really hoping for, so that we could spin it for Tour de Fleece, and she just knocked it out of the park. We are thrilled. We love it. Absolutely so happy with it. And we hope that y'all love it too. So if you want to jump on the Fleece Force fiber wagon, then make sure and grab some before the 22nd of the month. However, to join Fleece Force, you can spin absolutely anything that you want to. There's no requirements. Just to have lots of fun spinning during the Tour de France. My plans are going to include spinning actually for 3 different projects. First of all is a project that I have been working on this year, and it is for a pressed flowers cardie. So I've got half of my fiber spun up and I'm working on the second half. It's a combo spin, and I need to get my second half spun up so that I can ply it all together, and that way I will have my contrast color finished up. And I'm going to be holding that with a sport weight base from Red Stag Fiber, and it's their French blue color, I believe. Something French blue waistcoat, French waistcoat, but it's a lovely blue color. That's going to be my main color, and it's a Polworth blend in a sport weight. And then the contrast color is going to be my hand spun, which is a combo spin of different fibers, different colors, but it definitely has a gold theme to it. Now, the second project I want to work on for Tour de Fleece is a Montana mountain cowl by Andrea Mowry. It's a mosaic pattern, and I want to use this as my contrast color. So I'm spinning this up, and I'm going to go for a fingering weight, sport weight. My default is a lace to fingering weight, which sometimes will bump up to sport in certain areas, but I'm going to try really hard to hit sport weight consistently throughout the spin. So I love using my hand spun as a contrast yarn. I think it's really nice to mix it in with more commercial yarn because it gives it a little bit of stability in the fabric. It's definitely a little bit more of an even balanced yarn. And the contrast color, when you use your hand spun as a contrast color, you don't really have to worry about that at all. It turns out really nicely, no matter how consistent your yarn is. The other project I am working on is one that is totally hand spun, and there is no commercial yarn included in the project. And it is using these braids from Yarn Jam in the YoungFolk Knits color. So last year, she actually dyed up a color which was inspired by my podcast, which I thought was so much fun, and I loved the color so much. So she very kindly gifted me a few braids of it. I loved it so much I ended up buying more braids of it. I think it's just such a great color. And I have already spun up a full braid of it, and I am going to be working on spinning up a couple more braids, and that is going to be used in a test knit for something very fun that is coming from Andrea Mowry in the future. And first, though, I need to get all my yarn spun up because I want to be able to decide how to place my skeins in the project so that they look really nicely and flow really well color-wise. Whenever you have a lot of variegation, sometimes it's nice to lay out everything and look at it before you start knitting so you can sort of place how you want everything to go. I am definitely a color manager with color shifting yarns like Spin Cycle or Junction Fiber Mill. Anything that has that color shifting, I am a big time color manager depending on the project. But yeah, I like things to go the way I like them to go. I'm excited to work on all of that. I would love to hear what your Tour de Fleece plans are. If you're joining Team Fleece Force, let me know in the comments. Even if you're not, if you have spinning plans, let me know what you're spinning, what pattern you're wanting to spin for, or if you're just spinning for fun, if you're spinning for the first time. I want to hear all about it. So let me know in the comments. I'm very excited. I have spun the first braid on my shacked matchless, which I absolutely love. It is my favorite wheel I've ever used. I just feel like you absolutely cannot beat it. It's such a great wheel, and I've tried multiple spinning wheels. But this past year, got a new, very fun spinner from Daedalus. Now that I've gone Starling, I don't think I can go back. It's absolutely amazing. I love the portability of it, but at the same time, while it's light and easy to carry around, it has substance to it. It has a nice weight to it. Whenever I set it down and I start spinning, it doesn't move all over the table. It doesn't rock, it doesn't slide, and I've used other e-spinners which do, and that makes it difficult unless you sort of bolt them in place. So this has been a dream. I love it. Every time I use it, I love it a little bit more. There's so many different options to it. So if you're just getting into spinning, and you haven't bought a wheel yet, if you're looking for something to buy, I can't recommend this enough. It is amazing. It gives me some really consistent yarns because you can set your speed. I can even listen to an audiobook or music. Whereas when I'm listening to music while I'm treadling on a spinning wheel, if the music changes, the tempo changes, my treadling changes. So then my yarn is different. And I love the fact that this really helps keep it consistent. I can travel with this. I just love it so much. I've been using it a lot this past year. This is definitely going to be my Tour de Fleece spinner. So if you're interested in the Daedalus wheels, they have a lot of different options. If you're brand new, just getting started, I think this Sparrow is a great option. Or if you just want a smaller e-spinner, even more portable, top notch. The Starling, though, it's been amazing. So make sure and check them out. If you find one you love, make sure and let them know that Casey sent you, because I am super excited to be partnering with them this year. sometimes when I am listening to and watching and reading, one of you lovely viewers told me that you had the same experience with the Cher biography, and so I have gone back to it. The first chapters were just a little long, I felt like, a little heavy and a little difficult to make it through. They kind of lost me at some point, but I've taken a break from it for a while and I've gone back to it. I got it on sale for $5 and I really want to listen to the book. So I am diving back in. I'm going to try to see if this time around I can get back into it. I'm picking up where hopefully it's at the end of her childhood and getting much closer to her adult years, because this has lasted for what has felt like a very long time. Anyway, one of you viewers told me it gets much better. I'm hoping that that's going to happen soon. I also have a book on hold by Harlan Coben, and it's called Nobody's Fool. I've got it on hold at Libby. I'm quite a ways down on the list, but it's got really great reviews, so I'm hoping it's got lots of twists and turns and really interesting. My anxiety has been, I've had to try to monitor my anxiety lately and things that contribute to it being higher and things that help. So I'm trying to keep my screen time down a little bit, and I'm basically sticking to Gardener's World, watching that on Prime, and it helps. It definitely helps. I love Ned, the golden retriever, and I love seeing the gardens everywhere. It just makes me happy. What is your go-to familiar show that you love to watch whenever you can't really process anything else at the moment? Let me know. I may need to add it to my list. Thank y'all so much for spending some time with me today. I wanted to put on the screen the winner of a giveaway for a pattern from one of my latest videos, and if you would please contact me using Casey@YoungFolkKnits.com. You can email me there and I will get your pattern of choice to you. Thank you so much for watching and for your lovely comments. Your support means the world to me. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy videos like this, then make sure and give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any future video content. And I'm super excited for Tour de Fleece. It's right around the corner. Lots of spinning content in the next few weeks, which I'm very happy about. Until next time though, happy knitting y'all.